So I was literally at the pinnacle of my fighting career in my eyes at the time. I just ranked world number 2 in left way, which is Burmese boxing. Felt absolutely invincible, cloud 9. And then a month later was in a life-threatening car crash. I'm Nicola Barke, also known as the Burmese Python, and this is my journey. My childhood was very different. So I was born with a condition called narcolepsy, which is a sleeping disorder, and it causes your brain to just shut down. So when I was a kid, we used to tie my ponytail to the back of the chair so I wouldn't fall asleep in food and burn my face, because it was that instant. Or if I was walking home from school, I wasn't able to do that as a kid because I'd fall over, sleep, and be in a bush for 3-4 hours. I had a very sheltered upbringing in a way because there always had to be someone there. So while I had narcolepsy, my parents, they made me do ballet. It was the stereotypical thing for a young girl to do, but I really didn't enjoy it. I really wanted to start my journey in martial arts because the logic behind that was if I'm terrible at ballet, maybe I'll be good at the complete opposite. And that felt quite opposite to ballet at the time. I first started my martial arts journey in Taekwondo. And then after I did my first few belts, I just absolutely ended up falling in love with it, but not for the reasons that it was physical. The fact that actually it was very mental and what it taught me about myself in terms of having perseverance, being courteous, and in 2012 won my first world title. I remember making the team, but at the point I had a cracked rib and a fractured foot. So I had the choice of either staying in the UK and not going, or just turning up with a very high possibility of losing. Every fight I'd then win to qualify for the next bit, I remember going to bed and being like, I'm in the finals tomorrow. This is absolute madness. So I was literally at the pinnacle of my fighting career in my eyes at the time. I just ranked world number 2 in left way, which is Burmese boxing. Felt absolutely invincible, cloud 9. And then a month later was in a life-threatening car crash. The car spun, flipped, we hit another car, they went flying. Unfortunately, the passengers in that car didn't make it. I then went head on into a tree, and then just everything changed for me. I'd just been in a bare-knuckle boxing fight across in Asia, thinking nothing could ever stop me and my purpose in life, when actually to be wow, it could all just be taken away in one moment. And that's when I fell into having PTSD, so post-traumatic stress disorder. For me, it then just felt well, what's the point? It was what's the point in trying to be the best, to live your dream, when actually in 2 seconds it could just be taken away. And the only analogy I can give is that when I first had my nose broken in martial arts and I went back to do sparring, I was oh, I hate this. I don't want to be punched in the face again. I'll retire, I'm done. And I remember thinking no, but this is what you love. Just keep turning up, and one day you'll just remember why you'll fall in love with the martial art again. And then I remember the first time I properly smiled and genuinely meant it. And it was like a split second. And then that was the bit of hope for me. When I stepped through the ropes and I'm walking through, doing the ring walk, I feel absolutely petrified, honestly. And then I step through the ropes, we touch gloves, and it's almost this is where I belong. And this is what I'm meant to be doing with my life. Now I've turned over to professional boxing, I really take time to remind myself that the present moment is what counts. And the future for me with boxing is definitely to win some titles.
World Championship?
Well, yeah, absolutely World Championship. And hopefully one day, when everything settles over in Myanmar, to go back and gain the world #1 spot in the Burmese bare-knuckle boxing too.